Hey, everybody, welcome to Dropping the Gloves with John Scott, the official podcast of hockeyfights.com. And being a Hockey Fights podcast, we're dropping the gloves. Today, we have a guest who's an absolute killer. When you think of this guy, you think of him just throwing his fists, absolutely annihilating people. Like he's a beast. He's an absolute beast. Kirby Dach, thank you for joining the show, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, gloves are still glued on, so we're good for the rest of the year that way.
The potential, though, I'm
Yeah,
just waiting for the day
yeah.
you just
For
unleash
the
those
day that somebody
mitts.
makes me mad enough that they come off.
But we were talking before the show, you're a Western Canadian boy. You
Hmm.
played in the dub. You obviously know how to handle yourself. Have you ever thought about just, I tried to find a fight of yours. I couldn't find one. Have you ever been in a fight ever?
No, I've never been in one, which is weird. I mean, played two and a half years in the dub, and then that was it. I've been asked a couple of times, like in the Western League, but by guys that were meatheads just running around.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So it's
Be careful with the Kirby. Let's not start this on the wrong foot here. I
You know what I mean? Like there's a difference between guys that just run around looking for fights and guys that are doing a job out there. Like I mean, the guy I played with on my wing my second year, Riley McKay, he was a known fighter in the Western Hockey League, and we were great buddies. And he was out there. He had a ton of skill actually. He plays in Rockford now, but he was out there to kind of protect me, so I didn't really have to fight my own battles, even though I was quite a bit bigger than him.
exactly. You're 6 foot. What are you, 200 some pounds now? You're putting on the weight.
Yeah, yeah.
So, do you ever envision you adding that to your game, your style? Because it is a benefit. You watch these guys sometimes. Even Johnny Taves has dropped the gloves. Getzlaff got into a fight tonight. I don't know. It could be an asset for you.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm pretty aggressive and get pretty emotional in the game. I just haven't gotten to the point where I'm like, all right, it's go time, you know? I got a younger brother where we fought all the time growing up. We still fight, but it hasn't happened on the ice yet.
All right. Well, maybe you're saving it for the playoffs. Who knows? So, anyways, let's get into it. So, you're drafted last year, number 3 overall. Not a big deal behind Jack Hughes and Capicacco. What was that like being number 3 overall? Did you have any aspirations? Did you have any idea the Hawks were going to take you? What was it? Just kind of walk us through that. I was never drafted, so to me, it's so strange to me to be number 3 overall.
Yeah, it was nuts. I remember getting to Vancouver like 4 or 5 days before the draft, and I'm pretty good buddies with Bo and Byram and Dylan Cousins. So we all had meetings with LA and Colorado, who were 4 and 5, but none of us heard anything from Chicago like the whole week, which was weird because we all like felt like we kind of had pretty good meetings at the combine with them and had a good understanding. But and then an hour before the draft, Mark Kelly texted me on my phone from like a random number, like not the number he gave me. And it was like, hey, this is Mark Kelly. How would you like to become a Blackhawk? So I looked at it and I was like, is this real? Is this not real? So I showed my dad and my brother, and they're like, I think it's real. Like, it's real. So we kind of had that like, oh, it's happening moment, you know, like on the bus on the way there. And then
Yeah.
I just remember when the Hawks went up, I looked over to my mom and I was just like, if it's my name, don't cry, because then I'm gonna cry and I don't need that. So I think in one of the pictures, like as I'm like kind of hugging her and walking away, she's starting to tear up, but I didn't see it. So it was fun. I mean, I don't remember anything after my name was called.
Did you ever have a split second? You were like, I don't want to go to Chicago. Maybe I can text back. Nah, I'm okay.
No, no, everything I heard about Chicago, and now being here for a couple of years is true. I love the city. I love being around. It's such a sports city, and people, it's blue collar. They love to win, and I think it fits the group we have here. I mean, we're young and kind of going through a transition, but I don't think anybody really expected us to be where we are now, and with the guys out that we've had out all year too. So
Yeah, you mentioned that. We'll get to that in a second. First, I wanted to touch on your rookie year. You had a pretty successful rookie year. You know, you averaged a point every other game. Do you think it was a success? Like, how can you just?
I'd say, yeah, like in terms of development and becoming the player I want to become, it was pretty successful that way. I mean, points and all these advanced stats that people look into,
Yeah,
maybe say
they're waste
otherwise.
of
But
time.
yeah, exactly. But maybe say otherwise. But I felt like I grew a lot, and and learned a lot as a player and a person. Obviously, I lived with Brent Seabrook last year and a little bit this year, and I learned so much from him away from the rink on how to be a pro. And then I got Taser to learn from to be a good two-way centerman in this league. So it's a good group to be around as a young guy. You learned quite a bit last year.
Yeah, did you lean on Kaner and Taser and Dunks because they came into the league as teenagers just like yourself? Did they take you under their wing and show you where to go in Chicago and this and that? Because like you really are just stepping into this world that you had no idea. Chicago's not a small city, right?
No, it's pretty big. I remember the first time we got here, I was just like, oh, I could get lost going around here. But no, it's good to have those guys around, even on the road and stuff. You're going for dinners with them and getting to pick their brains about what their career's been like. I mean, all those guys, all four of them that are kind of been the staples in Chicago for so long have been kind of those Hall of Fame careers and picture perfect. And I don't think they'd want it any other way. So it's been fun having those guys around, and it's really meant a lot to me to kind of grow and develop under them.
Yeah, you seem like you hit your stride in the playoffs where you know, I don't want to see you carry the team, but I think the team that you were playing, they were focusing on Kaner. They were trying to lock them down. You kind of came into your own. What happened? Like, why was the playoffs kind of different from the regular season?
I don't know. I just felt more confident in my game. I started working with Patrick Kane's trainer, Ian Mack, and he did a really good job of making me feel strong and confident in my lower body and kind of my skating. I don't know if it like really fixed itself or I just got stronger with my lower body and kind of took off from there. But playoffs were fun. I love playing in that playoffs. Atmosphere is always fun. I mean, even though there's no fans, the battles you have and the hatred that grows from game to game in a series is always a lot of fun.
So Kaner, between periods, he goes with Paulie Goodman and he gets his legs shaken and pulled and jiggled. Do you do that too? Do you follow him in there and get your legs worked on?
No, I don't do that. I kind of do my own thing on the games, but yeah, I kind of stick to what I've been doing since I've been like 13 or 14 during game days, and they seem to work, and no need to change it then.
You got to get your legs jiggled, Kirby. I'm telling you, it'll change your life. It really will. I tried to get it done, but I didn't play enough minutes, and they just said, get out. Like you said, I was a meathead.
No, you weren't a meathead. You had a
I'll forget that.
Talking about the next that were in the dub for like 4 or 5 games just to run around.
The next convention, we're going to have a talk because I'm never going to forget that. I'm not going to sleep tonight. Anyways, going into your second year, let's talk about the convention. How fun was that? We got to do a little skit together. That was a good time.
The comedy skit there. Yeah, that was fun. I mean, I've never been a part of anything like that, but it was pretty cool. I got to meet a bunch of you guys and see you guys away from the rink and kind of out of everybody's element. So that was pretty cool. I enjoyed that a lot, actually. I'd like to do that again. Obviously,
Chicago.
COVID kind of happened, so
COVID ruins everything.
We'll do it.
Yeah, Chicago does a good job. So the obvious question, we asked people on Twitter, and they said, ask him about the World Juniors. Yeah. I don't want to beat this to death. Do you regret going? Do you regret – I'm assuming you asked Stan, and he said, sure, go. Walk us through that. What was the decision-making like going to World Juniors? You guys were gold medal favorites, like by far. I don't want to, beat a dead horse or make you feel bad. What was the decision like? Do you regret going? Break it down for me, Kirby.
Yeah, so
don't cry. If you cry, I'm going to cry.
No. I think it was like a couple days before the draft. And the IHF kind of came out and said, hey, we're going to go ahead with the World Juniors. So I saw that and I was like, NHL hasn't announced anything. They don't really have a plan going forward. So I texted my agent. I was like, hey, is this a possibility or is NHL going to start soon? And he says, I'll check with Stan. Checked with Stan. Stan kind of just said, hey, we're going to focus on the draft. We'll get back to you in a couple of weeks. So talked to Stan here and there for a couple of weeks. And at the end of it, he's like, NHL still hasn't come up with a plan. And as far as I know, World Juniors isn't really going to impact your season with us. So you can go, but if the league starts up and you're still there when we need you to be in Chicago, we're pulling you from the tournament. It could be before the gold medal game, could be any time. You're coming back. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I get it. So it was like dead set on going to World Juniors. I mean, you grow up wanting to be on that team. Like that's your goal, right? So I didn't get to do it the year before either, which kind of sucked a little bit, but because they won gold. And then obviously there's regret now that I broke my wrist, but I don't regret going. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I got to play with my buddies again and kind of be a leader for that team and kind of almost switch roles from what I am now and being a learning young guy to one of the older guys where guys were leaning on me for advice.
Yeah. How has it been the recovery? Have you had any major injuries so far in your career?
Nothing requiring surgery. I obviously been hurt. Hockey's a tough game like that. I mean, every year since I've been 15, something's gone wrong, but hopefully that changes coming years. But no, it's the first time I've needed surgery to really fix anything.
Yeah, how's that been like just sitting out and watching games? You're a star player. You're used to getting big minutes. Has it been weird just sitting back and watching?
Yeah, it kind of sucks. You know, like I feel like
a meathead who sits out and gets healthy scratch.
I feel like it's been too long or over a year since I played a game, but hopefully in the near future I can get in and kind of help the team in a positive way here. So I've been looking forward to that. Obviously been practicing the last couple of weeks and getting better every day.
Yeah, what's the status on that? What's the coach been telling you? Obviously you're taking contact. I saw that. You look pretty good out there. What's the update? Can you tell us you're going to play tomorrow? We can break the news and it'll be great. It'll be great for everybody.
No, not in tomorrow.
Come on, Kirby, give it to me.
No, I don't really have a timetable. It's more of a comfort thing and feeling how confident I am with it. Obviously, there's still some things that cause some pain and working through that slowly. And we'll be out there as soon as I feel like I'm ready to go.
It seems like the Blackhawks have exceeded most expectations this year. What was the vibe among the boys heading into the season, and why do you think you guys have done so well so far?
We were positive. I mean, we could even take it back to before the bubble in Edmonton. Not a lot of people thought we were going to beat Edmonton, and I just remember in camp, like looking at our team, like we're flying right now. Like we feel good. Our team's got a lot of confidence, a lot of swagger. We got one of the best players in the NHL on our team. We got Jonathan Toews, who's one of the best centermen in the NHL, and Corey Crawford and Duncan Keith on the back end. Like, I'd take those four guys to win a game 10 times out of 10, right?
Yeah.
Well, we were confident that way. And even this year walking in, we knew we had a lot of young guys that haven't been established. And now I didn't think teams knew how fast and how skilled we'll be able to play at. So I think we caught a lot of teams by surprise. And now we're down the home stretch of the season, a lot of tough games. So it's going to be fun way to end the year and hopefully get into that playoff spot and make a run at it.
So the Blackhawks too, like arguably the best team over the past decade or so. And usually when teams kind of go on runs like that, win cups, there's usually a lull. There's a rebuilding period that can sometimes last like a decade or more. But you're part of a young group that I think is going to kind of turn things around more quickly. You got yourself, Kubalik, Boqvist, DeBrincat. Like, do you guys consider yourself and you personally, like, do you think about that being part of that next generation, and do you kind of carry that mantle, or do you just kind of go out there and play your game?
Yeah, obviously it kind of crosses your mind once or twice, like, hey, this is like our time to run the tables. But at the same time, there's still a lot of older guys on our team that are helping us kind of guide the way and showing us and teaching us how to win each and every night. Those guys have been in every situation imaginable. So it's really valuable knowledge for us young guys to kind of go through and learn how to win in those tough situations. But this year's been a lot of fun, even being around the dressing room, even though I'm not playing. Everybody's laughing, hooting and hollering. So I'm excited to get back in the lineup and start playing games again.
Yeah, and so Kane obviously just played his 1,000th game. Like, can you talk a little bit about just what he means to the younger players on the team and how good he's been this year?
Yeah, he's, in my mind, he's been the best player in the NHL this year. He's so smart with the puck and protects it so well for such a little guy. It's pretty amazing how well he does all that stuff. But not a lot of people see the work he puts in. He's one of the first guys to practice. He's one of the last guys off the ice. He's always working on something, trying to get better. He's super competitive in the battle drills, never wants to lose. And I think that kind of has rubbed off on our team and our young guys especially. We're kind of carrying that confidence and swagger with us when we play. And he's been a huge impact on my career and all the other young guys' career, obviously.
No, it's very sweet, Kirby. It's very sweet of you to say. Another big reason you guys are doing well is your goaltending. I'll be honest, At the start of the season, I was like, the Hawks goalies are going to be hot garbage. Malcolm Subban is an unknown. D'Elia, I don't know who this guy is. That's going to be their downfall.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this Lankinen kid comes in and is just playing lights out. Who is this guy, and how is he playing so good? I've never heard of this kid ever.
Lank's pretty good. He's pretty dialed in. Like, he's a really super focused guy, but he's got that little kind of confident swagger that he knows that he's doing his job. But he's the goalie that won gold at the men's world championships for Finland 2 years ago. Or something, when they had that team with like only 1 or 2 NHL players on it, and beat Canada, beat the US, beat Russia. So he's obviously he's won that and kind of knows what it takes to win a tournament like that. But he's been great for us this year. Even Subi, when Subi's needed to be called upon, he's been really great. And it's been a lot of fun being around those guys. Obviously, they're young guys, and they compete hard in practice. They hate to be scored on, and they got a good competition going between the two, and it's fun to see.
Yeah, Subban's been playing well. I missed the mark on him. Like, he's junk. He's going to be terrible. He's going to be out of the league real fast. What is it like in the room? Because there is kind of the young guys and then the old guys. Do you give them a hard time, like, easy old man, don't break a hip, or is there a respect factor? How does that play out?
There's more respect than more the old man, don't break a hip. I mean, Dunk's 38, 37. He's one of the best skaters on the team, so you can't really say that to him. But it's fun to be around those old guys. They like being around us too. It makes them kind of feel a bit younger. I mean, if you talk to Dunk, that's what he'll say, and he enjoys having us around. And it's cool. I mean, those are the guys you idolized growing up. Man. You're on the road hockey or playing on the outdoor rink, saying, "Oh, I'm Patrick Kane, I'm Duncan Keith," type of thing, and to kind of be in the same dressing room, joke around with them, hang out with them, it's pretty cool.
So when you come back, you tentatively coming back tomorrow, not confirmed. Where do you slot into the lineup? What's your role going to be? How many goals are you going to score the second half of the season? Just a rough estimate for us and my listeners.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going to play or who I'm going to play with or how much I'm going to play. That's up for Jeremy to decide.
Obviously. Oh, this is a boring answer, Kirby.
It's my job.
I'm going the first line. Come on.
No, it's my job to kind of force Jeremy to play me as much as I want to play. So I got to come back and kind of compete and be ready to go when my name's called upon.
Do you address him as Jeremy when you see him?
Jeremy, Coach Carlton, Coach Jeremy. I don't know.
I've never called a coach by his first name. Is that the new thing with kids these days? You just, "Hey, Jeremy, what's going on, buddy?"
I guess so.
Is that what you say to him?
I don't know. Like yeah, he hasn't really got a nickname. Like my coach in junior's last name was Love, so I just called him Lover.
Buddy, Mitch Love.
Yeah.
I played with that guy in Houston, and he was one of the toughest guys I've ever played with.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
that's unbelievable. So was he a good coach? This is totally off topic here.
I really liked Mitch. Super intense guy, but knew how to get the best out of every player in our team. Some guys needed that yelling, kind of kicking, screaming to get going, and then some guys needed that kind of soft persuasion or like motivational speech and touch. But Mitch and I had a couple battles. I mean, not to the point where it was he was going to start throwing fists at me or anything, because that wouldn't have been good at all. But we had a couple of battles back and forth, but we always had the respect for each other, where it was like, hey, it was on the ice, we leave it at that and go about our day.
Oh, very good. So what can we expect from Chicago then? What are you guys going to do? You're going to make the playoffs? Are you going to fight off Columbus? And then are you a team to watch in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think so. I think we got a lot of young talent that's hungry to kind of prove themselves. I think that goes a long way, because all those rankings and stuff at the beginning of the year, I think we looked at it the other day. I don't think anybody had us above 25th place finishing.
I had you 28th.
Yeah, exactly. So we got a lot to prove, and we got those young legs that kind of go every night, and guys are flying around the ice in practice and working out and kind of still staying in shape. So I'm excited to get back and be playing with these guys and hopefully make a run at it. Obviously, our division's pretty tough with those top three teams kind of separating themselves, and it's a dogfight for the fourth spot. But we're in it, and running to the end.
One guy I want to ask about is Boqvist. I know you guys are buddies. He was drafted in the first round just before you were, the year before. He's having a good season. I think he leads your defenseman in points. He's putting up some pretty heavy minutes. What have you seen from him this year, and what do you think his potential is in this league as he continues to grow?
Yeah, Boki's been really good for us. Super offensively skilled. So much moving along the blue line. His hips are like butter. He skates so well. It's impressive. I love being around Boqvist. He's so much fun. He's just like a little kid. He's just giddy, and he's always excited to be at the rink. So we have a really great relationship. We're hanging out all the time, and obviously for his potential, I think the sky's the limit with him for points wise and helping us produce that way. But at the same time, I think his defensive game this year is really kind of taken off. I don't think anybody's really noticed how good his stick's been and how well positionally he's been this year. And I think he's caught a lot of players by surprise that year too.
Can you just kind of paint a picture for our fans what buttery hips look like?
Not mine. Mine are bad. I got tough hips. I got to work on that. But
what is the opposite of buttery hips?
He's always like opening up his hips like this along the blue line and doing these things and cuts back and forth. And he's a really good skater like that. He's good on his edges and makes plays.
I am totally out of the kids' lingo. Like, I am a solid 20 years older than you are. I just like buttery hips. What on earth are we talking about here? Is that a dance move, Kirby? I don't know. But anyways, well, you got a game tomorrow, so I don't want to keep you too long. So hey, listen, go get some dinner. Enjoy the rest of your night. Good luck tomorrow night. Hopefully you guys can get a win and get that playoff spot solidified, and we'll talk soon, my friend. Okay, thanks for doing this with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, hopefully the boys can pull one out tomorrow. I'll be cheering them on.